Good morning, honorable members, and good morning to all our guests who are joining the committee meeting today. Good morning, Co-Chair, Deputy Minister Mkungo, and colleagues from the National Defence Force, as well as the Hawks, DPCI. You are all welcome to this meeting. The meeting today has been called to focus largely on the Ramp 1 military hospital sorry, I'm trying to find the agenda, how I just excuse me, honorable members. You know what I've done on my screen? It has removed the agenda. How do I remove this thing from my screen? If you could just excuse me a little bit, honorable members, I don't know what I have done on my screen. Honorable Godsell, I do note your hand, but let me first go through the normal meeting procedures. We will get to oh gosh. I am aware that there you are. Now, the meeting is called to discuss the briefing on the investigations into Ramp 1, the update by the department on plans to refurbish Ramp 1, the other outstanding responses, the consideration of the Standard Operating Procedure, the consideration of the the report on SANDF deployments, the Pretoria oversight report. That is the agenda, but before we get through the agenda, can we get apologies, Nandi?
Good evening, co-chairs, honorable members, deputy minister, and all officials present. I have an apology from the Minister of Defense and Military Veterans. She's in Germany attending the peacekeeping mission. And then there's also an apology from the Minister of Police, who has departmental engagements. Apology from the two police deputy ministers who had prior commitment. And then, I've got another apology from Mr. Hwase, who's on leave, Ms. Khwekala, who has a medical appointment. And then I've got late people who will join, like Mr. Nuye, who will join later, the DM Major General retired Holomisa, and Ms. Brett. Yes, those are the apologies. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, honorable members. It does seem that we have a serious problem if members of the executive are all not here. then we certainly have a problem. Honorable Godsell, followed by Honorable Niehaus.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to everybody else on the platform. Yes, indeed, you are correct, Chairperson. We do have a serious problem. The problem started last week already when this committee considered a crucial report, and the minister,
Recording in progress.
I'm said to be in Russia at the time, could not attend or did not attend the meeting. That led to me asking on the correspondence group yesterday whether the minister would be attending today. We've been provided with the reports and with presentations, and the information that will be presented to this committee today are extremely worrying. We have all been to one military hospital. We know what the problem is. We have specifically moved this item up on the agenda for the term, and the agenda was approved, the program for the term was approved weeks ago. I also want to say that I find it astonishing that despite such early indication that these matters will come before the committee, but compounded by the fact that this committee is now taking place online, the minister can still not find time in her diary to attend crucial meetings such as this. It is unacceptable. It is also not okay that the Minister of Police or the deputies are here today. The investigations by the SIU are very, very important. It entails large-scale corruption. There are also items on the presentations and on the slideshows that I note are not there. For instance, the matter involving the COVID funds and the corruption in that regard. And given all of that, I simply don't think that we can go ahead with this meeting today. And my suggestion is that it be rescheduled to another 3-hour slot in the next 7 days when all the role players can attend and will be able to answer questions from the members of this committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Godsell. Honorable Niehaus.
Thank you, Chair. Let me first of all share my absolute outrage at the continuation of absence of the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans. It is exactly because of this conduct of the Minister that I've yesterday called in the debate in the National Assembly that she should be removed from her position. She is not showing any conscientious engagement with us about extremely important issues. Chair, on top of that, we have the absence of the Minister of Police with regards to the report that we're going to receive from the Directorate for Priority Crimes Investigation. That is also unacceptable. And of course, the absence of the two Deputy Ministers of Defence and Military Veterans only add to this disaster. Chair, as far as the presentation of the Hawks is concerned, I've got some serious issues that I wanted to raise with the Minister of Police, because there are glaring gaps in this report by the Hawks. There are serious omissions which I wanted to point out, but the Minister is not here. With regards to the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, it is a matter of record that the Minister has misled the National Assembly on a question that I raised last year in August with regards to one military hospital. I have subsequently brought a charge against the minister in the Ethics Committee of Parliament. And I've got a stinking suspicion, Chair, that the absence of the minister today relates to these issues, making sure that she escapes accountability. Now, of course, we should not allow this to happen. Chair, the minister also disrespected you and your co-chair, and by extension, all of us as members of this joint standing committee. Because if I understood correctly yesterday when I engaged with you outside the session of the National Assembly, you were not yet sure whether the minister was attending or not today. At that point, because of engagements that we had in the Joint Standing Committee on Defence and Military Veterans, I was already aware that the minister is in Germany for whatever she's doing in Germany. And I informed you that I don't believe she will be here. But it is only at the shortest of notice that you now have received this apology from the minister that she is not present. Chair, our meeting today is about oversight and accountability. There are very, very serious problems at One Mill Hospital. We saw it in person. The last week, I posted an internal letter from the South African National Defence Force indicating that Warrant Officer Mube was shown away from one military hospital on the 14th of April. And him being shown away relates, of course, to all the issues that we are due to discuss in terms of one military hospital. Sadly, on the 28th of April, he passed on. Again, yesterday, I dedicated my speech in the National Assembly to Warrant Officer Mube. Chair, what we're dealing with here are matters of life and death. In this instance, a death that had been caused by omission, by corruption, and by mismanagement. And a minister that denies that there are a problem at one military hospital, who was prepared to openly tell an untruth to the National Assembly in the answer that she gave to a written question that I presented. Under the circumstances, Chair, I don't see us being able to go ahead with this meeting because we need accountability. We can't just tick boxes. It is not just for us to come and listen to another report from the South African National Defence Force and a very sparse and very flawed report by the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation. We don't just want information. We want accountability. And under the circumstances, Chair, with the absence of the two ministers and the two deputy ministers, in the face of serious problems that we have with all these reports, and I must hasten to add also the report from the South African National Defence Force about one military hospital, because it really tells us nothing more. What it tells us is that they want to fix the mess, the construction site that the first floor at one military hospital is. But it will take them 29 months and they're not sure whether they can even start because they do not have the funds. That is what their report says.
Honorable
Now, yes, Chair, I'm going to conclude.
You are getting into the report already.
No, I'm showing to you, Chair. No, please understand what I'm doing. I'm showing to you how serious the gaps are. And I'm showing to you that we cannot deal with these reports without the presence of these executive members in this meeting. And therefore, I second the proposal that this meeting has to stand adjourned until those executive members present themselves and they can be held accountable. That is why I went to some extent into some of the detail of the report to make you understand the seriousness of the situation and the accountability that is required in order to address these issues. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Can we hear the views of other members? Now, if the suggestion to postpone the meeting is agreed to, not to postpone the meeting, that we postpone items 2 and 3, from items 2, 3, and 4, because from item 5, we deal with internal matters, administrative issues, adoption of minutes, reports, outstanding departmental responses, and so on. So we are dealing with items 3 and 4. There is a suggestion that items 3 and 4, which has been seconded, that items 3 and 4 must be stood over until we have both the ministers of defense and military veterans as well as police. That suggestion has been seconded. I will take it that if there is no opposing view, that proposal is agreed to. But let me take Honorable Gerike. I will take you last, Deputy Minister. Let me take Honorable Gerike and then come to you, Deputy Minister. Thank you.
Yeah, Chairperson and chairpersons and colleagues, good morning. I first and foremost apologize. I've rendered an apology in the first place, but the other responsibilities have been postponed, and therefore I'm in the meeting this morning.
And sorry to disrupt you, Honorable Gerike. Can we, in the apologies, also note the apology of Honorable Noel, who was traveling this morning and indicated that he's going to join the meeting later? So you may proceed, Honorable Gerike.
Yeah, Chairperson, mine is the following. As far as I know, is that this committee has resolved that meetings are taking place physically on a Friday, and that Fridays are being set aside for our physical meetings as such. That's a resolution taken by the committee. And in terms of my understanding, as far as I know, that resolution has not been changed, amended, or revoked. And I actually want to understand, how did we arrive here at these virtual meetings now? You know, we haven't been given an explanation, and it is of critical importance that we do understand how we have arrived here, because a resolution has been taken. That's the first thing. Secondly, it is very important and critical issues on the entire agenda, requiring the attention of senior political office bearers, such as the minister. And you will know that the rules say that the minister must account to Parliament. The minister is the incumbent upon the minister to account to Parliament. So without elaborating so much further, my colleague Carl Niels has, Honorable Niels has elaborated. I will also support the proposal, and I won't call it to postpone, but to defer, meaning that it will be a continuation of the meeting when we meet next. And that is just for the sake of the record. So I will propose that we defer the entire meeting to the next sitting, whichever it's going to be, whenever it's going to be, Chairperson, because all the items on the agenda need and require the attention of the minister as such, and we need the minister to be present so that we can have a clear understanding of what is it. No item must be sent back or postponed again after this meeting. So that's our proposal. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. Just to indicate that I apologize, I was late 3 minutes, misled by my watch. But when Honorable Nihouse was speaking, I was already present. First and foremost, I would like to support the idea that we postponed the meeting, but I hear that there is an amendment to the proposal that the meeting be postponed. I wanted to support your proposal on the items.
Thank you,
Therefore,
Honorable.
this means that I'm unable to respond to Honorable Nihouse, but to support the amendments that have been proposed in the meeting.
Okay, Honorable Deputy Minister, thank you. I think, comrades, there is agreement on the postponement. Now, I had suggested that we continue with items 5 until 9, but there is a counter proposal from Honorable Serike that we should postpone altogether. Can we take that? So items 5 until 9, we're dealing with the internal issues. The advantage of dealing with them is that it would enable the rescheduled meeting to now focus solely on items 3 and 4, bearing in mind that the other items are long in themselves, the reports, the minutes, and stuff like that. But I'm not imposing my views on the meeting. I was just putting it for your consideration. Now, the meeting is not being postponed, as far as I understand. It's being deferred. And we've already asked the Secretariat to look at the dates, to begin looking at the dates and how we can accommodate this meeting. Honorable Nihouse, followed by Honorable Godser.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Chair, I think it is not entirely clear whether the other issues on the agenda may not, somewhere with regards to some of the details on those issues. Perhaps the Deputy Minister should just mute, or whoever is opening their mics. So I would support the amendment to the original motion that the meeting in its entirety should be not postponed but deferred to the most recent date that we can find to have this meeting again. And Chair, I want to add to that proposal that we empower you as the two joint chairs to write a strongly worded letter to the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, also to the Minister of Police and the absent Deputy Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, General Bantu Lamisa, seeing that Deputy Minister Makunku has now joined us, and make it clear that if they do not attend this deferred meeting, this committee will utilize its powers to make sure that they are summoned to appear in front of this committee. We have those powers, and we must invoke those powers under these circumstances. We are dealing with very serious issues. I'm not going to repeat myself again, Chair. But let's defer this whole meeting. Let's send that letter. And in addition to that, Chair, in the next meeting, when we deal with all of these issues, I also would like to see on the agenda the matter of parliamentary scheduling of our joint standing committee meetings and also mini plenaries, because there has been conflicts between those schedulings. And I gathered that in the last meeting of this joint standing committee, there were some members who raised a concern about the apologies from some of us who were deployed by our parties to the mini plenaries. Now, these are both duties of Parliament. It's not even that it is a matter of deployment for political party work. So this issue has to be clarified and it has to be dealt with. Chair, I also want to see on the agenda the issue that I've raised last time and which you said that we will, in a closed session of this committee, discuss it, and that was the concerns that we had, well, I certainly had, about the manner in which your joint chair, the Honorable Para, conducted the meeting, and the concerns that were raised about the engagements that we, as a consequence, had on the in the meeting and also, of course, in the public domain, since these meetings are publicly streamed. I wanted to bring a charge. I wanted to go and lay a complaint against the co-chair. You prevailed on me, Chair, that we should not do so. And we were also told that Mr. Hutton had already laid a complaint, and you asked him to withdraw that complaint in order for us to have that internal discussion. That discussion has to happen. And then lastly, Chair, on the agenda of that deferred meeting, I want to have a response about why, after over 40 days, that I tabled some very, very serious concerns about the failures of the National Conventional Arms Control Committee, and some very serious information that I tabled about the fact that there are contraventions of our domestic and international commitments with regards to arms control. Why we've not received any response from the NCACC, and specifically from the responsible minister in the presidency, to whom that letter dated the 14th of April was presented. And I've got a serious problem, Chair, that the communications officers of the minister were trying to mislead the media. I have to say this, and I want to raise it.
Can we conclude the one matter at hand?
Okay. But I want this issue to be discussed in the deferred meeting, because the minister also then went ahead and, yes, please, Chair, and the minister went ahead and misled the media, used the parliamentary answer that she provided in March, long before I tabled this serious information, and then claimed that she had answered to the serious concerns and facts that I raised in my letter. This is unacceptable, Chair, and all of this must serve as agenda points on the deferred meeting. Thank you.
Honorable members, let's focus on the issue at hand, which is this meeting and its agenda. Now, the matters relating to outstanding questions are on the agenda of that meeting. But once we call every minister to come and answer for their specific issue, we then will have a much longer meeting than the one we intend having. And the reason I was requesting precisely that we deal with administrative issues today was to allow us to have longer time for engagement on military one, and to decide if there is a need to reconvene the minister of in the presidency responsible, who chairs the NCACC, to be able to make that determination that we must have a specific date. The problem, once we shift the meeting and then keep adding on its agenda, it means we're going to have a long meeting, an unfocused meeting, dealing with almost everything. I request that we confine it to the agenda of today's meeting. Members feel that the meeting, the rescheduled meeting must deal with the entire agenda of today. There is no one who has disagreed with that. And I request that we finalize the matter on that note. I will take you, Honorable Godsell, but bear in mind that nobody has disagreed with the proposal to reschedule today's meeting altogether. Honorable Godsell.
Thank you, Chair, and also thank you to Honorable Sokanyile for that wonderful video footage of our Tambo Airport. I agree, Chair. My personal view is that we could at least have done one or two items that don't require the attendance of the Minister. But I take your point and I'll agree to that. I just want to remind you that my initial proposal also requested that the meeting be rescheduled within 7 days. The item was moved up on the agenda a few weeks ago, and I think that all the role players, including all the ministers, should make every effort to provide a date within the next 7 days.
Thank you. Honorable Plakis.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think the meeting have moved to one direction, and that is to defer our meeting in its totality without adding any other agenda, and stick to these agenda points for our next meeting. I think the meeting is in agreement on that one, Chair. I don't want to bring a dissenting view.
Let me then, thank you. Let me take Honorable Niehaus, but I'm not, by so doing, I'm not encouraging. I'm not encouraging.
Chair, my hand has been up.
Oh, I don't see it. So you can come in, Deputy Minister. I think you raised your hand and then you put it down. So that's why, looking at the attendance list, I don't see your hand up. Please proceed.
Yeah, no, Chair, just to say that I will emphasize that we postpone the meeting just to emphasize the point raised by Honorable Plakis. We know we don't have problems with what Honorable Niehaus have said. It is always our intention to be present in meetings. We will be able to respond on that one. But the entire meeting to be deferred, I support that.
Thank you. Honorable Niehaus.
Thank you, Chair. I'll accept your guidance on the next meeting being on the issues of the agenda of today's meeting, the deferred meeting, as long as we do not lose any of the other issues that I raised, which I believe we should then accommodate in a next meeting. But I fully support your proposal that we stick to...
Honorable Deputy Minister, please mute.
The Deputy Minister has a problem with the technology, it seems, Chair. But, Chair, I fully support it because of your motivation that will give us an opportunity to deal with these issues in more depth. But I do want to emphasize the other issues then subsequently in another meeting still need to be accommodated. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I think the issue you are raising, Honorable Niehaus, will be addressed under item 5 of the agenda, which deals with outstanding responses. So we will have opportunity there to accommodate what you are raising and then take it forward.
That's fine, Chair. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. But I will also suggest that the next meeting must be physical to allow us to be at the same venue so that we are able to engage on all of these issues. Honorable Sokanyile, then I will take the Honorable Co-Chair, and I hope he will then close the meeting after that.
Thank you, Chairperson. Sorry about the noise. Apologies. I've just landed, Chairperson. But Chairperson, greetings to everyone in the meeting. I wanted Chairperson to raise an issue that says, for the honorable members, if they see that there's something that is left out on the agenda before we come to the meeting, if they can raise it with you in the form of writing that we see a notice, it hasn't catered for this item, it will make your job easy, even yourself, Chairperson, so that we don't take a long time when we're supposed to discuss issues of that day on the agenda, then we're discussing about items that were supposed to be on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sokanyile. I think we have addressed the issue that Honorable Niehaus was raising, but the point you are making is a valid procedural point. Honorable Phala, and then you can close the meeting.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, honorable members, and good morning to the Minister and all the support staff. Honorable members, thanks for your proposal, to defer the meeting, and I fully support that. This is about the issue of accountability. So we will try as a co-chairpersons that the ministers should attend. Due to the issues on the table, I also propose that we make more time, honorable members, because 3 hours is not enough. So I'll propose that when we meet, let's make it more time so that we are able to deal with all issues and ensure that we deal with everything, members, which is in our table. So without wasting much more time, thank you very much, and we really appreciate your presence, and the meeting stands adjourned. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, co-chairs.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are gone.
Thank you, Chairperson. I hope this next meeting is going to be a physical meeting.
Thank you, Chair. Siyazibongela sonke.